Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my podcast. I am Soheila, and I am so glad you're here with me today. In this episode, I'm gonna talk about one of the most amazing books I've come across, Digital Transformation, a Roadmap for Billion-Dollar Organizations by Westerman, Bonnet, and McAfee from MIT Sloan. I'm sure you're getting interested to know more about this amazing research done by MIT because it's one of those studies that truly change how the world understands digital transformation. Now, most of the stories we hear about digital transformation usually come from digital startups or tech firms, companies like Amazon, Apple, or Google. But if you're a manager in a big traditional company with complex systems, thousands of employees, and years of legacy processes, these examples can feel a bit unrealistic, right? Westerman and his team realized that too, so they decided to study how big established companies are actually managing digital transformation, what they're doing well, what challenges they face, and how digital technology is reshaping their operations, customer relationships, and business models. This study was a collaboration between the MIT Center for Digital Business and Capgemini Consulting. In phase one of their research, they conducted 175 in-depth executive interviews across 50 companies in 15 countries. And these weren't the small firms. Each had over $1 billion in annual revenue. To make the study balanced, about half of the interviews were business leaders, CEOs, COOs, and marketing directors, and the other half were IT and technology leaders. So this wasn't just a technology discussion. It was about leadership, strategy, and real change inside organizations. About 54% of the companies studied were from Europe, 30% from the Americas, and 16% from the Asia-Pacific region. They came from industries like financial services, telecom, media, energy, retail, healthcare, manufacturing, and transport. So this study gives us a global perspective on how digital transformation was happening, and it still continues across a wide range of sectors. As I was reading this chapter, I found myself really connecting with what these executives were describing because I've experienced many of the same challenges and transformation in my own career. I worked for more than 21 years leading and managing digital transformation projects across different industries. For example, I led a fire detection project using IoT in the telecom sector, where we connected sensors and systems in real time to detect faults and risks faster. That was digital transformation in action, turning traditional monitoring systems into intelligent connected networks that improved both safety and efficiency. I also worked on marketing automation projects focused on improving customer experience using digital tools to make interactions smarter, more personal, and more responsive. One of the most exciting projects was implementing a real-time decisioning system, which allowed companies to execute targeted campaigns automatically, helping to increase customer loyalty and reduce churn. And behind all of these initiatives, there was a layer of data processing systems, such as mediation platforms designed to gather, filter, and prepare massive amounts of information for big data analytics and marketing insights. So, when I read about the executives in this study talking about digital pressure, cultural change, and the importance of leadership, it felt very real to me. I've seen how the mix of technology, people, and vision can completely reshape an organization. This first chapter, the study, is more than just background. It's the foundation for understanding how large organizations approach digital transformation. It shows us that transformation doesn't just come from having the latest tools. It comes from understanding where you are, the challenges you face, and the opportunities you can unlock with digital technology. Every company is different. A telecom company's journey won't look like a bank's, and a manufacturer's transformation will differ from a hospital's. But across all of them, the key theme is clear. Transformation starts when technology meets purpose. This research represents business realities from all across the globe, from London to New York, from Singapore to Paris. When it comes to industries, the mix was just as diverse. The largest share came from financial services, about 1 out of every 5 companies in this study. which makes sense since the financial sector has always been at the forefront of adopting new digital tools. Next came telecommunications, media, and entertainment, sectors that were already feeling the pressure of digital disruption even back in 2011. Then there were companies from energy and utilities, manufacturing and distribution and retail and food services, each representing around the tenth of the total. And even government, healthcare, and transport were part of this global mix. So imagine this, voices from industries as different as banking, media, oil and gas, and even public services, all sharing how technology was reshaping their work. That's what gives this study its real value. It's not theory, it's the lived experience of global leaders navigating transformation. And that's why I find this research fascinating, because its insight apply to all of us. Whether you work in business, academia, or even tourism, these findings reveal what it truly takes for organizations to adapt and thrive in the digital era. You will spend your valuable time listening to this podcast, and I truly appreciate that. I always want to make sure that every episode adds real value to your day. So before we wrap up, let me share a few key takeaways from today's discussion. Digital transformation isn't just for tech giants. It's a journey every traditional organization can take. But it starts with understanding where you are and what needs to change. The MIT study shows that transformation isn't luck, it's leadership, collaboration, and clarity. And in the next episode, we'll start exploring how these companies turn insight into action. So stay tuned, because in episode 4, we'll move on to chapter 2, Common Pressure, Different Results, where we will see why some companies thrive under digital pressure and others fall behind. Thanks for listening, and remember, every digital journey begins with a clear understanding of where you stand today.